Welcome to the channel. My name is Justin and this is Jay's Honda Racing. As you can tell, there'll be a lot of Honda activities going on, anywhere from wrenching on cars to driving, racing, hanging out with friends, just vlogging. A little background on myself: I've been a Honda enthusiast most of my life. Started young with my friend's parents' 91 Honda Civic. It was a sedan, it was a manual transmission. We used to take that thing and drive the snot out of it. It was funny, they'd tell us not to do burnouts and stuff when we'd hop in it before we'd take off. But that car was reliable as heck. It made it through our childhoods, our teen years, and well into our 20s before finally giving it up, and it probably could have been repaired pretty easily, but it was just getting clapped, so it went to its grave. Shortly after that, my friend Dan had a EG Civic. It was a hatchback. Again, a super reliable car, easy to work on, fun to modify, and just kind of flinging around corners and stuff like that. So by that point, I was just hooked on Hondas. I've had well over 100 Hondas since. I currently own 5. I've got my Supercharged FA5. It's got a Kraftwerk Supercharger on it, tuned by Fearable.net. And I've got my EM1. I just finished putting this car together. It's K24 swapped. You're going to see more of that in this video. And then I have my 2015 FG4 Civic Coupe. And I've also got an H to B swapped 5-speed manual CRV. You'll see more of all these cars in the near future, I'm sure. I've never edited any videos or actually made any long, drawn-out videos. I'm giving it a shot. Bear with me, I'll get better as I go. I'm just going to be figuring this stuff out slowly here. Thanks for your time. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe. Thanks. Alright, so this is my 1999 Honda Civic SI. It is a true EM1, an Electron Blue Pearl. I've converted it to 5-lug. It's got CRV front brakes, and then RSX rear brakes. SSR Type C wheels, legit, not stickers on reps. K24 swap, it's a K24 A2, completely stock internals aside from the RSX oil pump, 50-degree VTC gear. I did all new guides, chains, as well as the tensioner when I did the VTC gear and oil pump, so that stuff's all fresh. It does have a K20 Z3 trans out of an 8th gen Civic Si, so it is a limited slip 6-speed. I retained cruise control, power steering, as well as air conditioning. It does obviously have heat too. It's got a tucked wiring harness. Everything's kind of hidden and it gets a little messy down in here. Like I said in one of the other videos, it will have a big turbo on it, a 6062, which is, I guess, not big, but a good sized turbo. Currently it's just running a 1320 ram horn manifold. I do have a sidewinder turbo manifold. I'm really just waiting on the downpipe before I can start installing it. I don't want to make the car undrivable in the meantime. It's got teen coilovers. I had all the suspension powder coated, redone. Everything is new, all the bushings, everything. I did kind of a basic audio system, but I did it clean. The battery's relocated to the trunk. It's got just a sundown LCS single 12 in a ported box. There's a little port over there. I did 2 audio control amplifiers. They are just the low wattage. They're both 300 watts. This is a 300 watt mono, a 300 watt 4-channel. Ran all the wires in Tech Flex, so it looks nice. It's got Infinity 6x9s in the rear deck, as well as Infinity component 6.5s inside. Still got the SI cluster in it. I did a Pioneer radio that does Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so I can do navigation and everything like that. Definitely, it has a billet aluminum shifter underneath the center console. Obviously you can't see any of that. And then that is a TWM big Type R shifter knob. It's 660 grams instead of like the Skunk 2. It's like 440 or something like that. It's got K-Pro V4. Yeah, runs good as it is, stops good, handles good. We're just gonna keep making it better. better and better. kind of driving like crap, I put a idle air control rotate plate in because the connection was really close to my radiator, and I'm assuming I did something incorrect because it doesn't idle very well. It's really low, and if I unplug the idle air control valve, nothing changes. So I must have that on there incorrectly to the point where it's like blocking off one of the ports. I'll have to dissect it when I have some time. When I'm on the throttle, it drives just fine. Just has the check engine light. I think that's partially because I unplugged the idle air control valve and didn't clear the code afterwards, so should be all right. Just a little jerky in the meantime. Alright, so what I'm going to work on today is I'm going to put this boost slash wideband gauge in a different heat vent that I bought, so I don't have to ruin the good original one out of my blue EM1 there. We're putting a turbo on it soon, so I'm just trying to prep as much stuff as I can in the meantime. So basically what I've done is I made a cardboard template that fits perfectly in there. I traced that cardboard template onto here. See it a little bit on this ABS plastic. I've kind of marked the center point here, so I'm going to drill with my hole saw the center point, cut this out. It's probably going to cut so much here that there really won't be much holding it, but I'll be able to use the glue here and the accelerator to hold it in there and make it sturdy. And like I said, I just bought this gray gauge. I'll have to paint it so it kind of matches a little better, but it's better than ruining the one out of my car. It's actually got a pretty nice interior. I'll go into a little bit more detail in this car in a different video if I haven't already. But yeah, I just don't want to ruin that gauge, or sorry, that heater vent there. I'll just put the gauge in that spot. I'd rather not do the frog eye thing. I don't want to have a bunch of gauges in the way of my gauges. I considered doing it down the cup holder down there, but I didn't want to have to look down. You know, this would be a lot easier to see if I'm driving down the road and I want to see what's going on with the air-fuel ratio or the boost pressure or what have you. Now, I'm going to get back to work. I'll show a picture here. Alright, so after just a few minutes, this is where we're at. You can see the CA glue holding it in around the bezel here. Got a little bit of a run there. I'm going to hit it with some sandpaper and get it prepped for some paint. I'll probably just hit it with some satin black. I don't think I'll find anything in town that will match the dash of the car very well. I live in just a little small town. But I'm going to get going on some sanding, and I'll show you what I come up with. So I got it scuffed up a little bit, and I put some spot glazing putty. Stuff sands really easy. You kind of just smear down with your finger in small spots, or you could use a putty knife if it was a bigger area. Should let me sand out the edges easily and make it nice. Then I'll hit it with some filler primer here next. After that, I will give it one final sand before I give it the top coat. Like I said, I'll probably just do satin black, unless I can find like a satin dark gray, which, like I said, is unlikely. Alright guys, it's been a few days. Mainly waiting on shipping. I had to order the paint. I ended up not wanting to just buy some random spray paint from a store. I did end up finding the classy gray, which is an OEM Honda interior color. It matches pretty good actually. It's a little bit lighter. It's not perfect. It's not super shiny, which is what I didn't want from the just random spray paint option. In the meantime, I did build a sub harness here, so I could quick disconnect it if I ever needed to take the gauge out for any reason. The O2 sensor harness, I already kind of did that, so I didn't do this. This is like that, but I just did this one here, and then I stole the little 2-pin connector off of like the power safe relay, which is mainly like a boost protection type thing. It would cut power to a boost solenoid in case of overboost for any reason. I'm going to use Honda and use that to control overboost and the boost solenoid, so I just stole that little plug and used that as the power quick connect here. It worked out pretty good, just soldered and heat shrunk the wires. I did solder all of these on top of crimping them just for that a little extra protection. Usually crimping it's just fine, but I figured it couldn't hurt. The next clip here, I should be installing the gauge, getting it wired into the Honda. So it'll communicate with that, and then I'll have to run the O2 sensor. That's where we're at. Alright, I got it in there. Tucked the wires in behind the dash, got them coming out just down here. Like I said, I'll work on getting them over to the Honda, get them wired into the auxiliary harnesses for analog inputs, digital inputs. I still got to wire up the ethanol content sensor as well as the MAC valve. So I'll be tying all that stuff in over there. I plan on using more of those quick connects in case I need to take something out. That way I don't have to cut wires every time you got to change some little thing. I figured that was probably the best way to do it. Take a little more time, a little more money, but like I said, that's what's best. So I'll catch you back up. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. It's kind of getting dark. It's gonna be time to wrap it up for the night. I'm going to work on getting this video edited and then uploaded to YouTube. This will be my first video or first attempt at a video. Please be nice. I'll work on making the video quality better, getting a little more comfortable talking on camera, and different things like that. I appreciate the views. Like I said earlier, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Constructive criticism is welcomed. That's all I got. You guys have a good day.